Now the last one's left. It's just the turbo side. This is actually easy because the piping is already put together. I just gotta piece it together right. That's it. It's super easy. Easier than normal. Alright guys, so I know this intercooler is actually bigger than the last Mishimoto intercooler I ran. I just want to give you guys a side-by-side difference if you're actually in the market on buying an intercooler. Preferably a Mishimoto, but don't mind the mess, that's my trunk stuff. But if you actually look, well, as soon as I opened the box, I can tell this one was way more bigger than my old one. This is a true M line, and I think this one is a S line. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. There's the VIN of the old one. There's the VIN of the new one. But as you can see, the new one is far more bigger than the old one. I mean, that's just a plus for me. That's perfect. So let's go ahead. Let's get out here and get this thing installed on the car. I have to do mine the opposite way that I usually do it. Intercooler pipe are pretty much like one piece, and it's already like pre-welded and prefabricated from off another Sc300. Usually when I build the intercooler pipes, I do it from the intercooler to the intake and the intercooler to the turbo, but this way with these I had to do it a little bit different just because they're already pre-welded. Alright guys, so we have the intake side complete. Like I said, it's already pre-welded pipe, so I had to do it from the intake to the turbo, but as you see, it fits. I knew it was gonna fit because I got it off of SC, but the problem is mounting my intercooler to actually mimic the intercooler from off the other SC. So as you see, fits perfect. Yep. And that definitely shouldn't scrape the ground at all. That's more than enough clearance, and the car isn't jacked up or anything. It's still on the ground. So that's perfect. That's a towel. It's an authentic towel. Should be authentic towel. When I got it, that was what it should have been. So should be good. But it's all on there. It's nice and pretty. Perfect. I am gonna pull this one off, and the one that goes to the turbo right there. Pull those two off and polish it. So now the last one's left. It's just the turbo side. This is actually easy because the piping is already put together. Before we actually install this piece, I'll show you how this one is actually running. It goes down, and it goes down behind the sway bar and out to the side. So this way you don't have to cut that gaping hole. I mean, if you do it and then you make it neat, that's not bad, but I did mine years ago, and as you see, I'm trying to fix it, get it back to how it was. I gotta actually wait till the weather warm up so I could do some body work on it and it'll look perfect. But as you see, it goes down. I think I have to shorten this pipe up some because the turbo and that other SC didn't have that 90-degree elbow on the turbocharger. But you see how low it sits. So I said I had to shorten it. So I had to go into the shed, and we actually have to, gonna cut it right here. We're gonna cut right here on here, so that way we have this lip for the actual couple of clamps to actually sit behind and hold this thing together here. So that way we have these, this lip for the couple of clamps to sit behind. So when we're boosting, the coupler won't blow off. Make it real hard for it to blow off. Comes out pretty nice. Nice cut. Nice cut. Go try to put your intercooler pipe on the car. Once you cut it, just hit it with some brake cleaner just to wash all those aluminum flakes away. I'm actually gonna grind at this some just to get the little flakes that I can't see with my eyes away from off of this. And whatever rigid pieces that'll blow off while I'm driving. So that was slightly tedious, not too bad. So I'm not gonna put the couplers on yet. So everything pretty much good to go. I'm worried about that one a little bit. I need a longer coupler. I have one. I put my longer coupler on right there, and it attaches to intercooler on both sides. We should be good to go. So now we just gotta mount the intercooler itself. Got a nice piece of metal here. So I cut it where I marked it, and now I'm going to drill where I had my holes marked at. I forgot to actually mark the hole here for that one, but it's cool. So I usually use like concrete bits because it has the wing tip on it, and it actually gets through the metal at a fairly good speed, faster than a normal drill bit would. Man, good to go. So we go ahead. I'm gonna check and see how this fitment on this actually works, and I gotta mark the other hole. Bam. Boom, and there you have it. One of the brackets are complete for the top of the intercooler. So I'm gonna see how this actually looks on the other side, and I could pretty much use this as a stencil for the passenger side bracket. All right, guys, so bam. It's actually perfect, so I will bolt that on and just pull the intercooler forward just a little bit to get that line. Use this on this side, that'd be perfect. And this side actually lines up perfect. So we're in the game. Bam, 2 intercooler brackets. Let's get these things bolted on and see how it looks. Once we had the top ones done, now we gotta mount it from underneath so it holds it into place. But these things are shored up. We're gonna get some flop just because the bottom's not supported, so you won't be able to see when I'm doing this. So I'll show you where to bolt it. On the bottom of the intercooler is 2 holes, and I usually just bolt it on the bottom. I will bolt it to the hole on the bottom, which is like about here. And you see this hole right here, I will either bolt it in that hole or that hole. So should be good. So the intercooler is completely mounted. I left it up in the air so you can see it. I'm not feeling how this is actually sitting, how it's crooked, so I might actually just order a 90 and just be done with this side. But other than that, that side's perfect. But you see how it's like lopsided. But the intercooler's dope. I'm loving it. It's mounted properly. That's not going anywhere at all. So if you look at the bottom, I'll have the bottom mounted, the bracket here and there. It's perfect. Looks clean, looks good. I wrote passenger on here and drive on here just in case when I take it off I won't get it confused. But yeah, so the car's almost done. Pretty much looking at getting it a base tune done on it. Like within the next time I come out here and fool around with it. The harness is complete. Everything's ready to just go into the kick panel, but as you see, I gotta push the car out. I do gotta connect my drive shaft. I was trying to do that today while I did the intercooler, but I don't have any more Loctite. So the drive shaft is still off and the exhaust is still off, but as you see, it's together now. It's complete. Engine bay is done. Intercooler's on. Oh, my heater core hose. I gotta get another heater core hose because you see how Jimmy rigged that, so we're gonna change that out. So just the heater core hose in the engine bay, drive shaft and exhaust, and stick the harness down in the kick panel. We could get a base chain. So got my hoodie, I got holes in it. The hoodies, the merch isn't indestructible. I found that out, you know what I'm saying, the hard way. But so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, pour some oil in this thing, clean everything up, go ahead, get washed up, and I catch you guys in the next video. When I do the base tune, I might try to record it. I have no idea how to do the base tune at all. I just figured out you got to get a certain laptop. You got to get a Windows laptop to actually get the tune software on the laptop. So not 100% sure if I'm going to record that or not, but I'll catch up with you guys on the next vid.